3, 2, 1. Q.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We are Slow Starters.
We are slow starters. This is the first time to do in English.
That's right. Yeah. So, would you like to explain like what we were doing in English?
Yes. Can
Okay.
I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I think Tatsu and myself,
Yeah.
we have lots of friends from all over the world.
Yes, we do.
And we got some comments, DM, that they want to know what we are talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I thought it would be nice to have English version content.
True. Yeah. We actually received some comments saying, could you do that in English, or could you do that like maybe video with the like English subtitles and stuff? So that's why I guess like it's not gonna be like English most of the time, but maybe
Sometimes.
we can do once in a month, or as a special
Exactly.
content. We can do it in English. Here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, so
How are we going to do it?
okay, so basically we can ask one question to each other.
Got it.
Um,
Each other or like share same question?
oh, we don't have to share same
it,
question,
got
but we can just ask the basic questions about this podcast channel,
Got it.
and also ourselves, or
Our relationship.
our relation
No, I'm joking.
our relationship.
Let's go.
Purely friendship, but
Why you have to say that?
okay,
No,
sorry.
I'm joking.
Okay. All right. So let me ask the first question, Yuta-san. Can you tell me briefly about this channel? What this channel is about?
Briefly.
Briefly, yeah. That's the key.
Tend to be long.
Yeah. You always.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry.
So briefly,
Yeah. Briefly. What is channel about?
the title is Slow Starters.
Slow Starters. Yes.
I think it self-explanatory,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Like we are slow starters,
We are Slow Starters.
and in our life,
Yeah.
it's never too late
Yeah.
to try something new.
Yeah.
Now or never.
Now or never.
That's our kind of motto.
Yeah.
So that's the concept of the show. So we wanna share kind of slow starters mindset,
Mindset. Yeah.
and also there's a concept. It's called fuck it
Fuck
moment.
it. Yeah. Fuck it moment.
In our life, we can find lots of fuck it moment.
Yeah.
So we want to share our fuck it moment, and at the same time, we want to find somebody who have experienced kind of fuck it moment as well, so that we can learn from these people as well.
So to explain more detail about fuck it moment, fuck it moment is basically it's the moment when you decide to do something. It's like fuck it, let's do it, or
Yeah,
don't think about it too much, just fuck it, let's do it.
just do it.
Just do it. So yeah, so we have already featured with few guests, and we asked this question, what is your fuck it moment? And it's quite interesting, and we'll be asking to the upcoming guests as well.
Was that short explanation?
Short enough? Yeah, I guess so.
That's good. Yeah.
Slow Starters also, like the reason why we named our podcast channel as Slow Starters is also because basically we're a dreamer. Dreamer. It's not like we started chasing that dream when we were young.
Yeah.
Maybe we kind of thinking about it, but we didn't choose to do it
Yeah.
because yada yada yada. We
Blah,
have
blah,
different reasons, but at one age we decided to do it, right? And that was incredible.
Yeah.
The
Feeling good.
feeling was so good, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to name our channel Slow Starters.
Yeah.
Our philosophy of this channel is that we can start whatever we want anytime.
Anytime.
No limit. No time limit. Well, physically there's time limit, but it doesn't matter. It's never too late to start something that you want to do. Yeah, that's our concept of this channel.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Is it good enough?
One more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
The reason why we put
Mm.
the name Slow Starter
Yeah.
is we just wanted to say this.
Slow
Starters.
Okay.
Okay, move on. move on.
So let's move on. Let's move on to the next question.
Yep.
Could you introduce yourself and what is your fuck it moment?
I'm Yuta. So my background is I have been involved in sport industry because I love sport. And we had a Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics in 2021. So after graduating from grad school in San Francisco, I majored the sports business program, management program. So I was always chasing Olympics dream. And after the Olympics, I still, love sport and then want to get involved in the sport industry because my dad used to work for sports industry as well. So by seeing my dad's work, I was always kind of inspired. Oh, I want to be like him. So that's what I'm doing. I used to work for tech giants from America, but in Japan. So I was working for the branch and doing marketing, sometimes sports marketing.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of my background. And also what was the question? The fuck it moment.
Yeah, what is your
My fuck it moment. So because I was working for this tech giant,
Yeah.
you always have the high target
Yeah.
quota. You have to hit huge pressure. Sometimes I was depressed, by having too high kind of target. And one day I went to Mexico with my friends and just looking at sunset. And I was like sitting like this.
Yeah.
And I saw the sunset and I felt, oh, this world is very small. Things are small. Target is really small. Like, I don't have to care about this. I just kind of, started to feel that way. Since then, like, when I went back to Japan, I didn't worry about the company, business, target. Started to kind of focus on what I can do.
Yeah.
At that moment.
Yeah.
Since then, like, basically, I didn't have to worry about target and started to hit the target every quarter. So that was my kind of fuck it moment. I think everybody has fuck it moment, but mine was like just sitting on Mexico, Cancun.
Wait,
beach.
what was it like? What was it like though? So let me follow up on the few more questions to that. What is it like? I mean, like, that's a beautiful story, right?
Yeah. It's not beautiful, but it's just seeing it. Yeah.
So what was the main reason why you start feeling like, okay, I don't really have too much focus on the targets or no, the noruma in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
What was the key though? How did it happen?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked this question because I didn't share entire story.
Okay.
When I was seeing the sunset, there was one guy, hippie guy, came to us.
Totally stranger.
Totally stranger.
Okay.
He said he was from England,
Okay.
Ireland, I forgot. England, I forgot. But he said he was supposed to go back to his country.
Okay.
Just staying there a couple of days and going back to his country. But he decided to stay, and he has been there like 6 months or something like that.
In Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
He was totally hippie.
Okay.
I could see he was like drunk a little bit and enjoying sun and anyway. So he started to ask questions and started the conversation, and I was like, oh, this guy
Yeah.
But like he was super nice.
Yeah.
And what he did was basically he was trying to sell wallet.
Sell a wallet?
Wallet.
Okay.
He made it.
Oh, okay. Home. Okay.
Yeah, homemade.
Yeah.
Craft, wallet.
Yeah.
You know how he made it?
Handmade. Sorry. Handmade.
Yeah,
wallet.
handmade.
Yeah.
But you know how he made it?
Wait.
What kind of like
Mm.
materials he was using?
Wait. Leaves.
Yeah, it's like a paper pack. Like when you have a soft drink or juice,
Yeah.
there's a pack, right? Like a
Yeah.
paper pack.
Oh.
You put
Okay.
you know, straw or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, plastic.
no, like paper.
Paper.
Yeah, paper.
Yeah. Okay. Paper.
And then that was like 500 JPY. I don't know how much in Mexican pesos, but something like that I remember. So I bought it. And then I realized this guy enjoying his life in Mexico on the beach, still
Selling-
trying to survive by coming up with the idea
Yeah.
of selling just random wallet. This guy's cool, I thought. And then, so now, like, you can do whatever you want, like this guy. And then by seeing
Sorry.
sunset from Cancun Beach,
Yeah.
I felt a target is like nothing. You can invent anything. You can live whatever you want. That's what I felt. And then I started to feel the fuck it moment.
Oh, I see. So he was what he was doing.
He was the
there
trigger.
Was the inspiration.
Yeah.
So basically, you felt like none of them matters.
And you can like invent or find a solution.
Okay. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Like, like especially myself, I tend to get stuck into like one situation, overthinking things many times.
Yeah.
Same thing. And I would say 80% of the worries never
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I think it's like this. Yeah, I like the concept of like, how the hippie guys
impacted on my life.
was chilling in the Mexico for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And, selling the paper wallet, homemade, handmade wallet. Yeah, that's a cool.
By the way, I
Oh.
didn't share
Mm.
this part of a story in Japanese version of our podcast.
Yeah. Why didn't you say that?
No, just like I don't know, but that's just gave me follow-up questions.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I started to kind of dig into. Yeah.
Good.
So can I hand over?
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me about yourself and please share with us your fuck it moment.
Okay. My name is Tatsu. Tatsu is actually a shorter version of Tatsuhiko. And I'm half Chinese, half Japanese. I was born in China 34 years ago. Wow. And I spent my life I spent my youth in Japan and China. China for about 10 years. And I would say Japan is over 21, 22 years, and Hong Kong and Australia and Canada for a few years in total. And I describe myself as a very sensitive man,
Yeah.
overthinking,
Yeah.
very fragile,
Yeah.
super easy to be influenced by other people's behaviors and words and
Agree.
actions. The reason why I was so happy to do this podcast is with you, Yuta, is because I'm also willing to learn so many things from you and the guests.
Yep.
And I used to work for a TV company after the graduation of college
In Japan.
in Tokyo, and I started working for one big TV company, and I got transferred to Fukuoka and Saga, and I felt like it was fun. It was definitely worth working there. I've experienced so many things, which I still, work as a freelance video creator. There's so many things still help my career a lot, my work a lot at this moment. But at the same time, the reason why I did the job hunting is because, it's because of based on the social stigma. So basically, in Japan, like you have to start finding job like at the age of like 20, 21, right?
Very competitive,
right? Very competitive. You have to, take interviews so many times for one company and stuff like that. And I was like, we're wearing suits and stuff. So I was like, I was doing what I was told to do, right? But then, this is something related to my fuck it moment, but at the age of 28, before turning 28, one of my close friends from college called me in a random occasion and told me, "Hey, Tatsu, so do you want to become a freelance and work with me?" And I was like, I was surprised a little bit. It was just caught me off guard, right? So basically, I didn't really expect anything that happened, but I didn't say no for some reason. I was like,
interesting.
Maybe I want to do that. Maybe because like being a freelance and work as a freelance creator was my dream. Like it was kind of like a vague, but I always kind of wanted to do it. But of course, financially, in terms of this, like the financial stability and the career, and my parents were like so happy when I got a job, when I got an offer from the company.
Decent company, good company.
A very big company, right? So I was like, there's no way I can do that like within 4 or 5 years after start working there.
Yeah.
But he called me and I was like inspired, and I took actually a day to think about it. I let it sit for a day, right? And then I remember like when I called him, so first I said, "Hey, can I have a day or two to think about it?"
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Sure, of course," because it's a big decision. Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." And then when I called him back, I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it. I want to do it." And then right after that, I actually went to see my boss that time, and say, "Hey, I want to quit." Because
that's brave.
But my parents weren't happy.
And then your boss, what?
My boss wasn't happy either, but he was like, maybe you should work one more year and see how you feel. And I was like, no, I can't. I mean, I understand like why you're saying that, but I have to do it now or never, right?
Now or never.
So that night, I remember like I was drinking, like, so the boss was, so at that time I was living in Saga prefecture, which is next to Fukuoka prefecture. So Fukuoka branch has like a bigger, so basically a center of Kyushu.
Yeah.
It's like a biggest branch in Kyushu. So all the big bosses are in Kyushu basically. Fukuoka branch. So I had to go to Fukuoka, and he was like, "Okay, let's go to this izakaya," which I used to go a couple years before. And he was like, "So how's your life going? How are you doing?" I was like, "Cut this stuff." So cut this bullshit. And I was like, I didn't say that, but I was like, life is good, but like I really want to quit, right? Then the boss said, "Are you sure you want to quit? Like, are you sure like you're jumping into unknown? Like it could be super unstable. It could be, you might not be able to work in the same industry." I was like, I understand that risk. Well, which I didn't. Well, that time I didn't really understand it, but I was like, I was young, and I was like, this is a moment to quit. So I understand. Thank you for your consideration. I understand all the, challenges that, probably facing that I'm going to face in the future, but I want to quit. And he said, okay. And then I asked like other colleagues, one of the closest colleagues that time, he was also like in Fukuoka, and we were very close. So I asked him, "Hey, do you think that's a that's a bad idea?" And like his answer was, "You know what? Like I thought you would quit. You would quit much earlier. I was surprised you still like in this company." I was like, "Okay, thank you." So next step was just telling this to my mom
big
and
step.
dad. Oh man, they hated it.
Yeah.
We were very close, but once they heard me quitting, they were like, "Please do not come back to Tokyo."
What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, well, like you are so ungrateful or something like. You should have worked.
Man.
You should ask this person if you should quit, and that person
Before.
It was the person, the colleagues that I'm super close to.
Yeah.
He was like 7 or 8. He's like 7 or 8 years older than me. He's like a little like older brother to me. So I always, whenever I have something, like I always, tell him like what, like my feeling and everything. He was like always the one who make me feel good, better in that situation. And I said, hey, mom and dad, I already told him, and he really did encourage me to do that, right? And still they were like not happy. So one day I decided to go back to Tokyo like without telling them, and then I opened the door and they were surprised. But then my mom and dad were like still like they seemed like they lost their temper. So basically what they did was screaming, yelling at me and blaming me for quitting and stuff. And I was like, well, it's hard because like I was so close to them. But next day I had to go back to Saga because I can't really stay in Tokyo for a long time. Just one night I stay there. But next day, usually my dad makes a breakfast for us.
Yeah.
And while I was eating, my mom came to me and he gave me a letter saying she gave me a letter saying like I'm not still happy with your decision, but I do respect your decision to come to Tokyo and talk to us in person. And from now on, no matter what happens, I'll be your biggest supporter.
That's cool.
Oh. Man, I remember I was crying like at the airport because I was reading the letter at the airport. I was crying, but then, now they're so happy that I'm happy to become a freelance. So there's no beef in between us. Yeah. But I'm so glad I decided to quit and decide what I want to do. Follow my fuck it instinct moment. Yeah. To this day, I never actually regretted my decision once. Yeah. Never, ever.
I can see like you're happy now with your work, your professional field.
Of course, I definitely have experienced like the financial crisis.
Sometimes people have it.
Yeah, but I still feel like I'm very privileged to do what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I mean, I was 28 that time. Yeah, yeah, 28, I think. 27. Sorry, 28. Sorry, 28. Nowadays, a lot of people start working as a freelance at the age of like 22 or 21 or 23, right? So I'm very like surprised like that people can actually achieve what they want to do. But at the same time, there's so many people still kind of like hesitating to decide what to achieve their goals or dreams and stuff like that, right? So I think our goals in this channel is to like including ourselves to get inspired by the people who decide or follow their fucking moment. Yeah. And hopefully each episode could be inspiration, like a little inspiration for whoever listened to this channel. What is your motivation for starting this podcast or podcast in general? This channel, it doesn't have to be this channel.
Yeah, so I always had a motivation for the podcast.
Yeah.
I think 2.5 years ago already I had it, and then started to talk to you like, oh, we should do the podcast.
Let's do a podcast. Yeah.
I just like generally, generally I like the podcast.
Yeah.
And the reason why I started,
Yeah.
because I think that's related to my background,
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
So sport is part of entertainment,
Yeah.
and sometimes sports business is content business.
Yeah.
And I also had a chance to work for podcast
In the company, huh?
in the company.
Okay.
Yeah, my previous work.
Yeah.
And I went to US last year.
Yeah.
Went to LA,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and saw the huge industry, like a big studio.
Yeah.
That's for the podcast. And
I see.
all like celebrities doing a podcast, and the creators are starting from podcast, not YouTube, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, starting from podcast.
Oh.
So I saw the kind of opportunity or like possibility in podcast industry, but in Japan, podcast is not thing yet, right?
Not a thing. Yeah. It's not a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, why don't we do it? Nobody's doing it. We should do it. And that's why I asked you if you want to join my movement. And then while we are smoking shisha.
Yeah, we were
Right?
doing hookah at the time.
Yeah.
We were like kind of
How do you
like
say hookah?
hookah, shisha, hookah. Yeah.
Shisha, yeah. So that's my motivation. And I like the, having a community
Mm-hmm.
in my life.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to your go-to restaurant, the bar, you have all like customers,
Yeah.
people from, restaurant,
Yeah.
this kind of like community, I want to have it
Yeah.
in my life. And podcast, I think we can create
Something like
this
that.
kind of
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally agree with that. Especially like, I remember the first time you actually asked me if I'm interested in doing a podcast. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about, right? I mean, nothing realistic. But now here we are. We're doing the podcast right now, right?
And in English too now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I was also, I think, same as a lot of people who got inspired by different, I would say like a podcast host.
Yeah.
When I feel down, when I feel not well mentally, I always listen to podcasts.
Can you name some podcasters?
Yes.
Favorite?
Matthew Hossey.
Yeah.
It's about love life.
Yeah.
Um,
You told me about grieving.
Grievings. Yes.
Yeah.
Matthew Hossey.
I heard.
Yeah.
I listened.
And I think the very first podcast I was listening was, the name of the show is called Gentle Reminder.
Yeah.
So it's about, because I've been always like having like a low self-esteem. So it's always nice to listen to the show telling me how much worth I have in my life, within myself. So that's the first podcast I was listening to, and also Jay Shetty, of course. Yeah.
Jay Shetty. On purpose.
On purpose. Yeah. And the School of Life. Louis House. He's
Louis
a great
House.
podcast host. Louis House, and also David Kessler about grieving. Yeah. So that's why like when you asked me, I was like, oh, maybe that's something I always wanted to do. I didn't know, but until I was invited by you.
Yeah.
For this. So yeah, it was, to me, I was always helped by a lot of the people in the podcast, and always get inspired and stuff. So maybe I might be able to the one who can also share some, like a small inspiration to other people. That's something I always wanted to do. That's part of the reason why I started to working in a video industry.
Yeah.
So it's a very common and mutual
Yeah.
Motivation.
So what do you want to do? What kind of challenge you want to do in our podcast?
In
show?
our podcast, this is something that we always say, but we always want to be a learner.
Yeah.
We don't want to be a teacher or someone who always give a motivational speech or anything. We always, I don't want to forget our position.
Yeah.
Which
we are nobody.
Which we have always plenty of room to grow.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, we also would like to share our thoughts based on our experiences.
Yeah.
Right? So, basically, I don't want to be a dickhead, or I don't want to be like a person who knows everything. It's because it's not true.
Yeah.
I always want to be. I always want to be humble. I will stay humble.
Yeah.
I want to learn so many things from you and the guest,
Yep.
the future guest as well. And I do believe that there are so many people who have very similar challenges,
Yeah.
Problems. So if we could share our thoughts or the guest's thoughts and then help them kind of like inspired,
Yeah.
that would be great. That's my goal. That's one of my goals on this channel. I think as you have the same.
Also, like kind of similar. As you said, we wanna be we don't wanna be teacher, right?
Yeah.
We always wanna talk about from our experience.
Yeah.
So I think we can try something new, learn about something new, then we can share, right? So that means it's not on internet, it's not on Google, you can search, because it's coming from our experience or somebody's experience. Right? So these kind of contents I always wanted to make. More depths, like knowledge or like feelings or experience, basically speaking from experience, right? So that's like my motivation.
That's a true inspiration too, It's the story is so real.
Yeah.
It's not like that we are kind of like making it like beautifully and try to kind of over exaggerate like our experience or something. No. We always like coming from like what you truly have felt. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
For example, this Mexican hippie.
Yeah, Mexican hippie.
It's coming from my experience, right? Seeing this guy and also your fuck it call moment.
Yeah.
Like how you receive the phone call and that changed your life.
Something that you can't like you say, you can't just like type in Google and find the solution.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's more like by listening to like HR story and kind of you get inspired or maybe not.
Yeah. Or maybe just having different point of view.
True.
Or different perspective.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Because I think I would say like recently I've kind of realized that it's always about how you see things.
Yeah.
It's always about like perspectives.
Yeah.
Like depending on how you see things, you can view the world differently, right?
Yeah.
And I myself want to be positive as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I like every morning I do the meditation and like write journal, and the first thing I write down is to show my gratitude to whatever I have, like friends, like job, or this apartment. Yeah, so that's something I always do. Also, I think this is something that we discussed or we talked and kind of got like super motivated. We want to stay a challenger, so we want to challenge so many things.
Yeah.
The new things you never like, something that we never tried. And once you completed a new task or new challenge, like when you completed it, like the feeling that you get, it's so hard to explain, but it's so good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. it can get addicted. Like we
Yeah.
can get addicted to it.
Yeah.
So I think in like one episode we will kind of like set our goal, or we decide what we're going to challenge,
Yeah.
and then we probably do it.
Yeah.
Like getting rid of our wisdom teeth.
Yes.
That's something like we kind of like afraid
Scared.
of doing. Yeah. But yeah, we should do that. That's one of the challenges that we should do. Yeah. And what else? Like any challenges? I think like you're doing like a trail run, right? Yeah.
I'm going to Taiwan
In
in
November.
November.
Nice.
Yeah. So 40 kilometers.
Yeah. Well, that's tough, man.
I have done like close to 40 kilometer in triathlon.
Yeah.
But first time.
Yep.
Actually going 40 kilometers. Good vertical.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can't
But,
imagine. Yeah.
But still, like after triathlon, I'm doing a
Training.
run and then
Training.
swim. Yeah, I do training.
By doing new things, definitely you learn something new. And before and after, I think myself, my personality, my perspectives, I wouldn't say like completely changed or anything, but I feel like there's so many changes like before and after.
Yeah.
And most of them are like very positive.
Yeah, and it's good thing that we share this positive, feeling.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
We're not teaching this is a good way or this is a good thing. No.
Yeah.
Just like we want to share this positive feelings.
Yeah.
After some small accomplishment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's something that we are thinking about doing it. So, well, I mean, basically we kind of like briefly explain like what our channel is about, and also like what our goals are.
Yeah.
I hope most of this episode will be done in Japanese, but hopefully we can make this kind of like English content once in a while, maybe like once a month, or I guess once in 2 months, or like regularly in a way.
And I hope people get interested in Japan.
True.
Or Japanese culture.
Sure. Yeah.
Or us visiting in Japan and
that's
just
good.
text us or call us, and then we can go to restaurant together or show the city around. That would be so cool.
Or we can actually record a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. So whoever listens to this overseas, or non-Japanese, or people who don't understand Japanese, feel free to leave any comments on our social media account, and DM or for us, either way works. Like Yuta said, we want to make a big community, like in future, sharing our moments, sharing our minds together, and be more positive, be more like challenging, and be more like become more dreamer, like a realistic dreamer.
And we can also do vice versa when we go to, I don't know,
overseas,
China or US or European countries, wherever.
Oh, I wanna
just let us know. Hey, I'm here. Just come us and come to us, and then that'd be
great.
Have maybe some beer,
like a collaboration. Yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, right now we're recording this in my apartment, but it could be like kind of like, I don't know, like near the ocean, or in central area of the city, or it could be anywhere. We actually have shot. No, actually we actually have recorded one of the episodes in Taiwan.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Okinawa too.
Oh, in Okinawa too. Yeah. Aside from Tokyo, yeah. So, we're more than welcome to receive those collaboration messages, or how do you say it? Like your opinion about of this towards this channel and everything.
Hopefully, you can subscribe.
Yeah.
Follow us on
That'd be great.
any social media.
That'd be great. Yeah, if you guys subscribe our channel and regularly listen to it. I think we try to make international content as well, like especially for Instagram and YouTube, hopefully. So feel free to visit our channel or account and leave us any comments.
Yeah. Hopefully, like this English version content. Yeah. Once a month.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We can do that. Hopefully, yeah. All right.
Right.
Let's wrap it up. Okay, so thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy this episode. And this is what we always say at the end of the show. It's our
thing. I don't know.
Yeah, our thing. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Slow starters.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.